So I want to start with some writing. So this was sent to me, and I'd like you to have a look at it. So what I'm asking you to look for is what strikes you immediately, sort of a hint, looking at the layout, looking at the format, and then won't you read it through? And does anything strike you? So why do we look at something that has been sent? It's to pick up basic things like format, but far more important than that, it's to look at content. So I sent a question to the internal moderator of Paper 3 Home Language, and I said to her, random question, but at the moment, if the format is wrong, what sort of penalties are we looking at? Because as you know, the content is marked separately from language, and the format is considered as part of the whole. And she said to me that if it's like wrong, if you're in a category, let's say you're there at the top of that category, you'd go down to the beginning of that category. But otherwise, you might lose our mark. So in other words, the format, and I know a lot of the questions that I get are around the format. The format is important, but it's not critical in the way that the content is. So let's start with the format. If you're marking this and you look down, does it look like a letter? Yes. It has an address, it has a dear Josh, it has your friend, it has the name at the bottom. So yes, the child knows what a letter looks like. Let's just fix this. First of all, it's meant to be straight, not very straight. Make it slightly straighter. This is meant to be straight, so it's all meant to be up against this. Remember that this is a proper noun. And then why do you do this? I was asking Koketso before the broadcast, and he says it's a male thing. He said it's our thing. Don't make jokes. This is not an appropriate moment to have a suburb in Johannesburg, misspelled, called Soda Pop Town. You know, I'm not going to laugh. I'm going to feel that you're not taking your matric exam as seriously as you should. Right, so we've got how many errors? There's a capital letter there. There's a joke there. There's a misspelling there. There's the alignment, and then, as all of us know, it's street suburb code, wait, don't forget the date, and the date has been forgotten. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mistakes, and I haven't got beyond the address. Now, does that mean I'm going -1? No, but I'm already irritated. So it's not that you lose marks on the format, but you're annoying the marker that you've turned up in the matric exam, and you thought, I'll write the letter. Whatever the letter is, I'll write the letter. I don't know what the format is, but I'll write the letter. Right, so let's have a look at the content. This is clearly a letter of congratulations. Absolutely no problem. It's one of the letters in your syllabus. I probably would have Johannesburg Junior Basketball. You worked really hard for it. I like that. That's fine. Then we get one step closer. Fine. But I can't see if this is idea number 1. Josh wants to go overseas. Fine. Then this is idea number 2, and it's not a development. then the child doesn't know that a sentence ends with a full stop, which is quite irritating. The last time we played, I lost. End of a sentence. Let's be pedantic. So what have we got? We've got the idea of playing together. This develops that idea. This is still part of playing together. Then this is playing together. Would be really nice if the candidate knew that you end a sentence with a full stop. So what I am seeing is two ideas. The first idea is in that sentence and is not developed at all. So do we mark the planning? I know a lot of you get very kind of hung up about this. Are we marking the planning? I'm marking the planning right now. I don't have to look at the planning. There are two main ideas in this paragraph. Therefore, there is a paragraph structure problem. This wasn't planned. When the child did its mind map, so it had congratulations, da-di-da-di-da, then it had the idea about the step closer to the NBA, and then presumably it had another paragraph, and I know these all should be different colors, and this is about playing together. So, no, the child didn't plan. The child didn't say there are 3 paragraphs there. So it wasn't planned. I don't care what the candidate thought it didn't plan. Then good luck with school and basketball practice. Oh, it would be nice if we knew what a full stop was. Don't do this. Now let's look at the content overall. It's a letter of congratulations. How much of the letter is actually dealing with the congratulations? That whole paragraph, lovely. That, all right, I'll get rid of the school, okay, maybe, but the bulk of it, all of this, has nothing to do with the congratulations. Off topic. So when you look at the categories, you will see that it says as a bullet, no digression. Now, when you digress, you go away from the topic. And the topic of this letter was congratulate your friend on what he's achieved in a sporting code. And this letter digresses. So I think this letter proves what I've said about it's really easy. Let me just go back to the content. So in your content, I'm talking home language, 0 to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's really easy to get into the moderate category there. It's actually very difficult to get into the 2 bottom categories. You know it's a letter, you're saying congratulations, it's about basketball, yippee. But it's actually more difficult to get into the skillful and the exceptional. And so you've got to say to yourself, when you plan tomorrow, planning, you're going to take this topic, letter of congratulations, so we're going to make it a big smile, letter of congratulations. What am I going to write about? So I'm going to go, congratulations on the basket. Fine. Then what am I going to do? One step closer to NBA. And then? I don't know. What else am I going to write? I don't know. In which case, you must either choose a different transactional or you must stop and plan, because that's what planning is about. It's thinking through your content. So you sit and stare at it and say, what else could you say? So maybe, you see, I'm not a basketball person, but maybe the second paragraph could come in here and could be about that win. Could be, I watched it and I was there and this is what the coach said and this is what the other people's, maybe I could develop that. And then I could go step to the NBA, and maybe I could talk about what else you've done. How else have you, one more step, the next important step. What about other steps? So I remember your other magnificent steps. That still be part of the congratulations, and you can get to the word count. But you cannot pad out the letter with something that's off topic. That's what's critical. Right, so I sent this back to the candidate and said, try again. And the candidate changed topics, which is a bit of a pity because I wanted to see what was going on. So, letter telling my friend of my holiday friendly letter. Do I think you'd get this in grade 12? I don't think so, but doesn't matter. He's practicing. I'm thrilled that he was practicing. So let's look at some of the problems. Although I had pointed out that it needs to be a capital letter, another problem has set in. Notice, however, we have got Sophiatown. It is misspelt, but the child's thrown away the joke, and please notice that. So why I've kept encouraging you over the last few weeks is to write and send it to me. Is you write, you get feedback. You then see what you're doing and you build on that and you improve. Now I know that's not very helpful the night before the exam, but you could look at something that you've written. Or those of you who are not in grade 12, you're in other grades, please think about this. It's write, get feedback, start to fix the little things and try to improve the bigger things. Okay, so it's definitely an improvement. We're still writing to Josh. And the other thing was the other one was too short. This is definitely longer. Right. So, right. What is it? We're told, letter telling my friend of my holiday. Okay, let's look at the first paragraph. All right, I'm actually quite happy with that first paragraph. Amazing holiday. We explored London. It was really fun and exciting. The only thing is, I think the house should be in London, because otherwise I'm going to have a problem with the letter. Looks as if it's going to tell me about exploring London, but if our house is in Britain, where is it? It could be an island, you know what I mean? So maybe make the aunt's house in London, and it was wonderful to explore London. It was really fun and exciting. Fine, but I don't have a massive issue here. But do you see I have a massive issue immediately with the next paragraph? After taking 12 hours to arrive, me and my mother and I were greeted by an escort. Sorry, so this is about the amazing holiday, is it? Who took us to my Aunt Mercy's house in the evening. Amazing holiday. We got to my aunt's place. Now, this is something that students battle with, not only in the letter, but in the essay. Moving in time and space. So, the next tip for tonight. Do not tell me about the journey unless the journey is the focus of the text. So we had an amazing holiday in London. Why are you telling me about the 12-hour flight and the arrival at the airport and being met by an escort and going to Auntie's house, and then you repeat it, we got to my aunt's place? Why are you telling me this? Is it important? No, it's not. It's not important for the amazing holiday. So do you see, whatever energy you built up in the introduction is now utterly flattened. So if you are saying something like, you decide to go to the coast, don't tell me about the journey unless that's what you're going to tell me about. Tell me about the coast. If you are going to your friend's house, don't tell me about walking down the path and walking along the road to where the friend lives. If that isn't what the essay is about, just get there and tell me what happens when you're there. Are you with me? So this is really important. So put this aside. Moving in time and space. Okay, so We got to my aunt's place and we were fatigued from the flight. We had an amazing holiday this year. After a good night's rest, we woke up refreshed and ready for the day. Well, if you've had a good night's rest, no wonder you're refreshed. Sorry, is this about your amazing holiday? Is it about exploring London? Nope. Right. Then we have our plans for over the next 2 weeks. So our plans for the next 2 weeks were to explore as much of London as possible. But you told me that exploring London was really fun and exciting, and I was expecting to go fun and exciting number 1 in the next paragraph and enjoy a brand new scenery. We were not disappointed. So you are the marker. What do you think of that paragraph? What would you write? I write cut. Cut. Okay, right, let's move on. Let's get to the fun and excitement. We had the opportunity to ride on a classic red double-decker bus that we see in the movies. My mother and I traveled through the whole of London. We saw Big Ben, went on a cruise on the Thames River, all right, okay, all right, Thames River. I was going to make it a capital, but all right. Rode a Ferris wheel. Which one? Is this the London Eye? And had the best biscuits at Ben's Cookies. I had so much fun. All right, what has the candidate told you about exploring London that you wouldn't have known from watching some adverts? I really wish you could have come with us. Oh, no, please, I don't wish you were there. Understand you at school and needed to get some work done. Maybe one day we can visit there together. Waffle, waffle, waffle. Warm regards, little R. David. So the candidate began well. And then? So where are we putting it? Moderate. Moderate. Is it skillful? No. Is it terrible? No. What is it? Moderate. Do you see what I mean about it's easy to get into the moderate category? It is, it's moderate. I want to know something about exploring London. What did you do that was different? We saw Big Ben, and? Saw Big Ben, and? You went to cruise. Could that have been a whole paragraph? You went on, I presume this is the London Eye. Couldn't you have told me about it? I've only seen the London Eye in pictures. You know, couldn't you have told me about it? Okay, I didn't mind the best biscuits. It's a bit of a joke, but all right, Ben's Cookies and best biscuits. Okay. All right. So, moderate.